How's that? We good? Hi everyone, it's also Ashley. And you saw the title of the video, so the answer is yep. Well, thanks for watching the video. Be sure to like and subscribe. I'm just messing with you, sorry. Too funny. Let's see, where do I start with this? If you're a longtime fan of me, thank you, first off. If you're just getting to know me, maybe you don't know my history. Maybe you don't know where I came from, or why I am as surprisingly and shockingly and beautifully successful as I seem to be, which I will never not be grateful for. So let's do it. Let's dive in a little bit into where I came from and how I became. I've actually written fiction stories about my journey, and I never finished it. So some of you will actually really love that this video exists, because it's a bit of my autobiography. And I think that's honestly where some of this begins, is fiction writing. I used to go onto a site that still exists, Fiction Mania, and I used to write feminization stories. I didn't know why at the time I was so into that. I'm still very into it, by the way. But that's kind of where I got my start as an entity. That was when I chose the name Also Ashley, because I was but I was also Ashley. Do you get it? I don't know if I've ever told that story. That's the joke, right? It's like a whole pun. It's my whole life. I've been a pun this whole time, in disguise. I grew up with a hormone imbalance. And when I was younger, I went to the doctor in a fairly conservative town when I was very young growing up. And they saw I had a hormone imbalance and that I had gynecomastia, which means I was growing. And his response was, it's puberty. He'll probably get over it. Just work itself out. I guess on some level it kind of did work itself out. All the fiction stories and everything else that I've written aside, I always did feel a little different growing up. There wasn't a switch, and I wasn't swindled into becoming what I've become. More than anything, over time, I just began to accept it and not feel shame around it. I grew up basically being the straightest white guy you would ever meet or see, and I fully embraced that and was very certain that's what I was. It's definitely how I lived my life. I was a good-looking guy. I can still kind of manage being a guy, and I look pretty damn good. But yeah, I basically went my entire life just ignoring the signs of my body and how it was actually growing. And there would just be little moments here or there that would hit or someone would point out. I do remember once going on a trip, I used to be a drummer, and being in a hotel room with a bunch of my high school buddies. And at one point, one of them turned and was just like, "Hey dude, did you know you have a woman's ass?" So little moments like that across my entire life just wheedled its way into my brain and kind of made me be like, maybe I'm not as straight as I think I am. And then I would like force all of that down and be like, nope, of course. Don't think like that. I guess before all the fiction writing became a thing, I dated a lot. Got around a lot. College douchey football guy. Which, yes, makes what I've become now even hotter. Early on in college, I ended up long-term dating somebody. And she used to joke about my curves and my butt. And she used to joke about how good I would probably look in some of her clothes. And I didn't think much about it because I was a strong, masculine guy. And I didn't need to think about those things. But then, somebody broke up with me. I've written stuff on this before, but I just want to clarify. Kink, identity, gender, I feel like all of those are a part of one another. And one enjoyment in one category or one definition in another doesn't nullify everything. I think that's something that enough people can't wrap their heads around. I think everything's a little bit fluid, and what you choose and what your choice is should just be respected. It's really not that hard. But I should be able to sit here and be like, yeah, feminization's hot. And also, I identify as a woman. And also, it's kind of hot that maybe part of me feels like a guy stuck as a woman. And also everyone on the planet is hot. And self-appreciation is kind of just a general thing I wish more people had. Be proud of yourself. Enjoy what you are. That's a long way to say, like, step off. Be chill. Just accept people. Who gives a shit? My life doesn't affect yours. Feel like I went off on a tangent there. Back to my stuff, I guess. So I was with my girlfriend at the time, and then she broke up with me. It was really rough. It was really hard on me, and I got a little depressed, as one does. And one night, I got really tipsy. And she had already left. It was this whole deal. Don't ask me about it. It was bad. She cheated on me. Which meant that she left a bunch of her stuff behind. And lo and behold, you put enough beers in you, your brain starts to wander, and you go, I wonder if she was correct, and that I actually would look really good in her stuff. So you might try something on. And look in the mirror and go, damn. And then you might wake up the next morning thinking, oh my God, what did I do last night? And feel a bunch of shame around it and be like, I will never do that again. But as weeks go by, you realize that you can't stop thinking about it. It just keeps creeping into your brain. And when you see women walking by on campus, suddenly you might be focusing on something different than whether or not you can get a date with them or take them to bed. And maybe you're thinking more about what they're wearing and how it might look on you. And then you might find an excuse to maybe have a couple more drinks. And then you might start doing some research and realize that Reddit exists and that there are a bunch of folks in there that might relate to you a little bit. That there's a bunch of really hot women that are actually guys. And I know I'm not allowed to use this term anymore, but the idea of a trap was insanely hot to me. And I could not look away. And I could not stop thinking, do I want to be this person? Or do I want to bed this person? So anyway, yeah, I started diving into Reddit. And here's where I get into a little bit more of like my overall topic. That website didn't change me. What it did was open my mind up more. And it gave me a space in which I could actually be myself and be supported by people and have positivity and not be shamed. And a lot of folks wonder, like, why do trans folks go into porn? And why do they slip into that? And the truth is, like, right now, especially, it's one of the safest places to be. And I know that sounds hypocritical, and it kind of is, but to be accepted just for who you are and even be admired and have people want you for it is intoxicating. It's what everybody wants at the end of the day, right? So yeah, I got brave enough and I decided to post to Reddit in drag. And I deleted it within like 2 hours of posting the first time. And then I got brave enough the next day and I posted again. Several commenters made the mistake that drove kind of the rest of my life. And that is, they basically said, hey, you aren't actually good enough to post here. And they took down my posts. And this little competitive part of Ashley said, how dare you? I'm gonna be the hottest f***ing trap you've ever seen. Don't tell me what I can't be. Eat it. Bite me. I mean, I'm mostly joking, but at the same time, I was like, how dare they try and take this from me, this positivity? Because I got so many comments that were positive and were accepting. And so, yeah, I just started posting, to post, to exist, because I loved it. And it became this form of expression for me. And the entire time, for years, I denied what I was doing and didn't tell anybody. This is never actually going to be a thing. I won't keep doing this. This is a fad. It's just a little thing that'll blip and go away. I just find it really hot now, but it's going to go away. All of these little excuses, and I know some of you can relate to that. But then, the more you just kind of start to accept yourself and realize if something makes you happy, do it. Just keep doing it. Exist in it. Be. It's amazing. So at some point I broke in a good way. And I just decided, this is me. and I'm going to pursue it. And around that time, I had a ton of fans that I had built up that also looked at me and were like, you know, there's this thing called Patreon, and female clothing is expensive, and cosplays are expensive. I bet if you jump on there, some of us would support you and help you out. And the fact that that evolved into where I am now, I will never be more grateful. But yeah, that's a very, very broad version of my story. So, is the answer to the question of this video, did Reddit turn me into a woman? The answer is no. All of you did that. How dare you? No, I'm kidding. I've just always been me. It's a simple answer. I hope you all enjoyed that. That was really fun to talk about. And at some point, I probably will end up just kind of writing a story about myself. Not because I think I'm important or holier than thou or whatever, but because I think it would be fun. And I like doing stuff that's fun. And honestly, I've never felt better about doing what I do now. Because the amount of people that reach out to me and talk to me and basically tell me that I'm the version of the people I was seeing on Reddit that helped them realize who they are is amazing. It's a lovely feeling, and I just want to keep doing that. Well, thanks for watching the video. Be sure to like and subscribe, and remember that this joke now is playing perfectly in time from the beginning. Why am I wearing succubus horns? To keep you interested, maybe, right? It was a super meta thing where I actually used the end, but now it's the end and it's the actual end and there's no answer. It's all really stupid.